Hi everyone, today I'm building a sort of modern desert house with a big patio because of the new kit that they released. If you're like an avid Sims player and you follow all the Sims news, you probably already know that the Sims base game is going to be free now. And to celebrate that, and I guess to reward the old players, the long time players, they are releasing the new kit for free until the 17th of October. And I really like the kit. I think it's so pretty. I believe it was sort of like a collab with the Sims content creator. This is one of my favorite type of aesthetics and style when it comes to building. That alongside with industrial. And given that I didn't really like the industrial kit, I didn't even buy it. I thought it looks pretty, but for £5, I'm not gonna pay for two items, you know? I'm very rigid with my money and I don't, spend a lot. Because I was a bit disappointed with the industrial kit, even though that's one of my favorite styles to build, or decorations and furniture and things like that. I was a bit apprehensive with this one, but because it was free, I was like, I'll just get it. And then when I started building this house, I was quite impressed with the objects. There is, a nice number of things, all things considered, because a kid will never have that much stuff, but it is quite pretty, and there is new flooring, there are new wallpapers, and they're really, really pretty when it comes to like modern and outside. They have those really nice, really cool new windows. It comes out of the wall in like a triangular shape, and I think it's quite nice. I am quite divided, I think, in terms of my opinions on the base game becoming free. I think at first I was a bit salty and a bit petty because I didn't buy it when it came out in 2014. I bought it at full price a few years after, and it's one of those things like, oh, I paid so much and then people can just get it for free now, like if I waited. But it's just a petty thing really, because it's like if you go to the movies and then you get mad when the film that you watch go to streaming. It just sounds like you're an old person complaining like, oh, in my time we had it so much harder. It just sounds petty, and my childhood self would be so happy if it was free back then, I like it that it's free. I think so many people are gonna be able to play that wouldn't be able to otherwise. It makes sense for EA, in a financial aspect at least, to make the base game free, because realistically they make most of their money from the DLCs and the expansion packs and the kits and all of that. They make money out of recurring customers and not so much out of new customers, right? New players. So by making the Sims, the base game, free, it attracts more new players that will then become, recurring players that buy the DLCs and buy the expansion packs, especially because the base game is not that exciting, let's be honest. Because differently from a normal journey type of game where you have quests and you have objectives to get to and then the story progresses over time, The Sims is more like you create your own story. So if you don't have much imagination, this base game is quite limited in terms of things that you can do. What saddens me is that they're gonna attract all these new players and these new customers, and they're gonna sell them broken packs with a lot of bugs and problems that haven't been fixed, regardless of how old the packs are, like Die Now and My Wedding Stories. All of that is a bit upsetting. The floor plan of this house took me a while to figure out because of that little tower thing in front of the house. I couldn't really get a bathroom in there. So I was trying to create at least an ensuite and a second bathroom. So there's 2 en-suites, but one of them doesn't have a shower or bathtub. But the third bathroom has both a shower and a tub. It's a very expensive house, although it only has 2 rooms. And I think it's because I use expensive furniture and because most of the furniture in this kit is quite expensive in the game. Because it's a Desert Luxe kit, I wanted to build obviously an oasis spring, and I use a lot of succulents and cacti, plants that like sunny places and stuff like that. Although I don't really know a lot about plants, so it was more like a guessing. Anyways, I think it looks pretty. I used most of the items in the pack. I didn't get to use the door, although I think it's such a pretty door and I hope that I get to use it in other builds. I just couldn't find a place for it in this particular one. I think I didn't use the second window that the kit has, the one that's open. One of the most exciting things about this kit, that it's one of the reasons why I recommend you getting it, even if you don't like the style, if you don't like building it so much, is the curtain rails. So basically, you can put a curtain at one end of the window and another one at the other end of the window, and then build a rack filling up that gap between the curtains. And it's such a game changer for people who like building, because we never had something like that, and it just makes your build look more polished, you know? And I did a child's bedroom for 2 children, maybe twins, or maybe one of them could be a teenager, to be fair. And I used the new side tables because they have an opening at the bottom that I thought was really exciting to try and put, books or something there. I used it in the children's room. I only used the base game, the kit, and Eco Lifestyle in this build because I wanted to use the Eco Lifestyle windows that kind of come outwards, because I think they fit really well with the new windows that are triangular. And I love those windows so much because using move objects, you can put stuff in it and looks like a shelf. And I think it looks so pretty. I would love to have a window like that in my house. I put some tiny windows at the roof, and then I removed the ceiling in the living room and kitchen area, which is the reason why I used the really long ceiling lights, but then I moved them up. Although I haven't checked how it looks if you're looking at the ceiling. But I think it should be fine, when you're playing you don't actually look at the ceiling. It was just more of a trying to be a bit more realistic, because if your ceiling is triangular with the roof, then obviously the ceiling lights would go up to the ceiling that is the roof. Now this living room was a bit of a nightmare to do. I knew where I wanted things to go, so the sofas, the TV, the dining table and the kitchen, I knew where I wanted them to be and how I wanted them to be positioned, but I was so clueless regarding the colors and how to match the different wood tones. I don't normally build with the orangey tones. If anything, because I grew up in a really white house, walls were white, the floors were white. And then now my mom's apartment is grey and black. I am not used to using wood tones. I personally don't like when it's too dark, when it's dark brown on the walls and then dark brown on the floors, and then the furniture is also dark brown, And it's something that I want to try more, because I do love wood tones. I never know how to match dark floorings and, walls wallpapers and with the furniture. But I think after dozens and dozens of different tries, I think I got it in the end. Although you're gonna see a lot of changes throughout the video. And I have this wall in the middle of the room, kind of separating the living room and the kitchen and the front door, but also leaving it open. And I put a desk with a computer at the side, and I tried to create some sort of like division with the archways, but it looked a bit crowded in there when you turned around. So I just gave up and just left it open, really. So then I just decided to change all of that orangey brown that I was using before to a proper just brown. Make it darker so that maybe I could, I didn't have to use the orangey tones and try to figure it out from there. And those Eco Lifestyle windows, I changed it to a more beige color, so that the whole house would be the dark brown and the beige. I do change the floor and the wallpaper, but it does stay with the beige and dark wood tones. I found that floor that is very dark. It's almost black, but it's still brown, almost a bit grayish as well. It's one of the added floors into the base game. But the bathrooms are grayish. One of them is blue, the one for the kids' bedroom is blue. But then the master bedroom and the other two bathrooms are more grayish. The patio was so much fun to do. I would love to live in a place that's warm and you can have a big patio with a pool and, have barbecues and eat outside at night and things like that. I put a hot tub. It's the commemorative hot tub that it's free in the game, it's base game. And I did grill area with the new fireplace. And I think that grill is my favorite piece of this whole kit. I love it. I think it's so pretty. I love that it has like a mini fridge. It's not functional, but it looks like a mini fridge and a trash can. And I honestly have gone into most of my saved households and then changed the grill that they have to that one because I love it so much. And I did put a trash can next to it that at the beginning was functional, but then I put that square side table next to it and then forgot to rotate it, so that one isn't functional as it is in the gallery. You just have to rotate it, but there are plenty of other outdoor bins that your Sims would use, so it's not that deep. And it changed the walls around the patio. I thought those looked better. I put some tables, and in the end when I was decorating it, I also put some of those walls with the plants going up from Eco Lifestyle. I think it's so pretty. And yeah, I put some children's stuff because there is a children's room. It's kind of like a family home. And I did put the new telescope, the tiny one, that they added to the base game when the werewolf pack came out, because I love it. And I love the new death that comes with it. And I made a garage using a car from Debug, and I put the woodworking table, the bins, and a bicycle. So yeah, this is the final product. It is in the gallery. I loved it. I think it's such a pretty house. I'd love to live in that house. I hope you enjoyed this speed build, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.